So let's get started. In this today's session, we will understand how to write our own custom exceptions. Let's say these days we were saying errors, right? One second. Let me quickly create a package. Say it can be package folder, anything is fine. For example, errors, right? And let me create a normal file to understand um, custom errors. Okay, so let me go ahead and create a custom exception. Okay, so I created one normal file where I'll be elaborating all the concepts in detail and created one Python file. So Python file extension is .py. So we had one, right? So let us do one thing. For example, so when you're working on Python, let's say a equal to 10, b equal to 0, for example, right? And when you do c equal to a by b, right? So what could be the output actually when I execute this? Any any questions from anyone actually on this topic? I think we had multiple sessions on understanding what error should be raised when you do a baby, because 10 by 0 is infinity, right? And in Python there is a specific error to be raised actually. Yeah, yeah, correct. The 10 by 0 is infinity, but when we are doing in programming programmatically, right? So that cannot be calculated. So yeah, so the error name is zero division error actually in Python. Zero division error, because we shouldn't do like this, right? When the second operand is zero, which is this cannot be performed. Like anything by zero is infinity, right? So the error name is zero division error. Okay, yeah, of course, that's a incorrect data. So did you see this? If I go and trigger this out, you are seeing your data here. In Python, the beauty is it clearly tells you, hey, so this is your file name. Your file name is custom exception.py. At line number 5, I'm not okay. Even line number 5 is this. And in this line, I had a specific issue, that is zero division error, because you cannot divide the number by zero. You got it? So this is what the beauty of Python. Okay. And even, so this is one error. So let me comment out. And now what I will be doing is, I would be um, say my string my string is, for example, India. Now I want to convert it to, let's say, x equal to integer. I'm converting India to string India to, for example, you know, integer India. It is clear that it is purely alphabet characters, and alphabet characters cannot convert to what? Integer, correct? So when I do this time type error, see, value error where invalid literal for integer with base 10. Because see, when you're trying to convert some one type to other type, so string type to integer type, hey, you're doing this operation, but the versionality is, so you cannot convert, this value is not good, I'm not happy with this value. But when I do the same thing, let's say string of 10, for example, string of 10 equal to how, or string of 100. So this is what? Value error, right? This value is not, like, it is not happy with the value, you know. But when you do this, like I want to convert integer of 100, Just variable name, guys. I'm giving a good readable variable names. Understood? So integer of string of 100. Now, if you see this value is okay. For example, in previous case, string cannot convert to as integer. Like alphabet string cannot convert as a integer. But whereas string of digits, right? So string of digits is fine. And now when I do this, it shouldn't raise any error. Like still we were okay. I had to comment this out, right? And if you see for this, it's not raised any error. What is the reason? The value of string of 100 is okay because a string of okay can be converted to integer. So this become now. Did you see the difference? The above we had a string and below we had a integer. Sounds good. So that's where you need to understand. Uh, this is valid. This is valid as this is valid as string 100 can convert. Sounds good. Okay. And if you see what you are saying, so you are trying to say zero division error, value error, right? And when I do this, let's say, let me also give one more example. Let's say x equal to 100 and y equal to, let's say, India, for example. And I'm doing is I'm doing addition of x plus y, for example. What did you notice, guys? This error, no? Why? Because you cannot perform addition between string and integer. So what is the error? The error is a type error. You got it? So when I trigger this out, it will now see it clearly says trace back. Trace back is one of the Python module, guys, which would take care of all the error handling. You got it? And if you see, it is clearly telling, hey, in this file, right? What is my file? Did you see this? It is exactly matching with the file name. She uses double line six documents, insta errors, like many things, But it says that, hey, in this particular file, I'm not okay with line number 14. This is line number 14. You're seeing, right? This is line number 14, and which is z equal to x plus y, right? And the error is type error, unsupported operand type, plus for integer and string. Does this make sense, guys? Yeah. So, and one more important thing, when you're looking at the error naming, right, the naming convention of the error. So, type error, for example, type is one word, error is one word, right? So, in each word, the first letter is uppercase and rest all are lower. In error, E is uppercase, rest all are lower. Got it? Even anything, right? So, I copied other one also. Value error. So, value the how the convention of defining error is first word is upper, the rest to lower. Second, like words, right? Each word, the first letter is upper, remaining to lower. So that's how it is working. Even if you see anything, you got it. Now, if you say, hey, Kumar, like sometimes, for example, let's say you want to raise what we can say. So when it comes to application, for example, first name, last name, right? Let's say if you are filling a form, and sometimes some people, right, they used to fill ABC, right, or XYZ, for example. So ABC XYZ is not a legal name, for example, or sometimes, right, they used to keep one digit. So XYZ also let us allow, like let people keep XYZ as a name, but uh, at least like there should be some minimal things, right? So let me talk about some use case and then we can go from there. So session is custom exception custom exceptions. Okay. So when I say custom exceptions, so these days you are seeing whatever you have seen so far. These all are the errors raised by Python. Okay, so these errors are produced by the error names produced by Python itself. And now I want to write my own error. If something goes bad, my error should be raised. Okay, so now for that, when it comes to the custom exceptions, right, in the Python, so it is a way of defining our own error types in Python. Own way of defining error type, like value error, type error, zero division error, right? Like that. Uh, One way of defining error type in Python. So this is what custom exceptions. Okay, you got it? So how? So what we can do is we can create a class, create a custom exception class, create a custom exception, create a custom exception class that inherit from parent. So there is one class called exception class. So this is the super class, or this is a parent class. By inheriting features from this exception class only, we can create a custom exception class. Then only this is called custom exception. If you don't inherit exception, right, then that is not a custom exception. Okay. So let me write a small example. When I do this, let me write a use case for let's say, think about a scenario as, one second. So use case, raise a um, raise error. For example, if name is too short, for example, I'm expecting name to be more than 5 characters, for example. Okay, so raise error if name is too short. Okay, uh, below 5 letters. Raise error if name is too short, below 5 years. So what can be the name? Error name. Now I want to create a specific or custom exception actually. So name too short error. So this is a good name, right, for writing a exception. Got it? Like type error, name error, sorry, value error, and all, right. So this is also too good, no? The same notation we followed, and this would help us to create a custom exception class. Got it? Okay. So let us do one thing. What we can do is we can create a name, same thing. So how we can create a custom exception class? So class, what is error name? Name to short error. Okay. And so if you want to create a custom exceptions, you have to inherit base or parent or super exception class. What is the exception class name? Exception. Got it? So this to be inherited. Without this, we cannot, because see, when it comes to the exception class, right? So in this exception, everything has to be written actually. Understood? So that's why we need to inherit all the exception related content or data attribute and methods. That's why it is required. We got it? Yeah. And now what I'll do is, let's say I'll write a documentation string, say raised raised when name is name when name is too short. Got it? Guys, I just created a simple class, guys. Okay. And here documentation string. What documentation string? It is nothing to do with programming, but it is to understand. It is for your understanding purpose only. Like we are creating a class name, and why we are mentioning documentation string. Why this is required? Like what is the purpose of this class? Okay. Anyway, I'll give a detailed explanation one more time. And df say create a constructor. These sessions we already had, guys. So if you're not comfortable, you have to revisit the constructor handling constructor session. Self length. So length also I have to calculate. NTTH length and message. What message? Message is equal to. So I would say like name is too short. It must have above 5 letters. Got it? Okay, so I'm creating I created a constructor here and say self dot length TTH equal to length and message self dot message equal to message. And now as mentioned, right, so we were using exception class super. Say now I want to slice in it. Just pass message. I'll show you like what is uh, like how the exception looks actually. Yeah, guys, this how. Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll just copy it in the Python module itself so that it will be more clear. Say example 01. What happened? LNGD. It's not matching with the name. Oh, I didn't. Did it close? No, no, sorry. Yeah, I didn't close. Cool. And you can push it to next line also. That's fine. Got it? So, guys, did you see this? What I have done is I just created a you know um, created a basic class. The class name is like my custom exception error name to short error, and which is inherited from a parent exception class. Like this is one of the class, right? If we click on this, you'll come to know. Did you see this? It opened the built-ins. This is the custom exception class. Yes, did you understood? When you want to work on error handling or creating a custom exceptions, right? So this is required. Did you see this? Exception is a base class. And if you see this is the base exception. Base exception is the one. You can see many things here. Guys, do you understood? But in general, we don't care about we don't need these details. But it in short, what we need is we supposed to inherit the exception class. That's all we need to understand. That's it. So this is how we create a custom exception class. And majority of the cases we don't keep this as well. We will just create a exception class name and then add the documentation string in the real times. Okay, I can also share a few screenshots. once I'm done with the session. Okay. And now, so there is a class, right? I created one class, and then now, okay. So what I'll be doing is, I'm first of all, let me take data from username. Username equal to, let me take username from the keyboard, guys. Okay. How I can take? Enter your name. For example, I'm asking user to enter your name, right? If username is entered, for example, then what I want to do is, if username, how we can check the length of the username? No, length of, yeah, right. Yes. If username length, let's say, for example, if you do this, if username length is like, if it is true, for example, then the letters is what? Below what? Now, see, if name is below 5 characters, for example, so this would get you the length of the characters, right? How many characters are there in the string? Once again, so this is error, right? If you see, if the length is below 5 letters, so if the length is below 5 letters, we should raise error, isn't it? So how we can raise error? What is error name? Name too short error. You got it? Just provide the for this what we need. So did you see this? Here I clearly written like in the constructor. In the constructor, what is required? Only one parameter, length. Did you see this? So I'll simply pass the length. So how can I pass like this? Did you understood how I'm writing the exception? Now let's try to execute this. So what will happen if I execute this program? Guys, it's very simple. We created a custom exception class for our own error name. This time if it raises, let's say if there is any issue in the program, right? In the sense, if the person name is less than five characters, then we are checking the length of the person name. If it is below 5 characters, immediately it raises this error. We are raising error, right? So what we had to do? Rise. We got it? Rise name error. Sorry, rise name to short error, and provided the required uh, required constructor details. You got it? If I execute this out, so now I'm passing the name. For example, let's say um, Naveen. Right. When it comes to Naveen, right? When you see Naveen, so what will happen in this? It's no, what happened there? What this now? Once again. So let's say Raju, for example. When I do Raju, so it takes Raju here, and length of Raju is what? It is four characters, right? And some weird thing. Once again, let me stop it. Which file? Current file. Let it execute, and it takes data. It is string, right? Once again, Raju. Now, okay, yeah. So interpreter itself previously it has some issue, but yeah. Now, did you understood what happened? Previously, the errors, right? So previously you were seeing this, name error, name like no value error, type error, right? Now this time it raises your own error. Did you see this? It is clear that whenever the characters are less than 5 letters, for example, so you are calling your custom exception error name. You got it? Even when you do this, let's say this is one way. Now, did you understood how we can write, how we can create, but in real time, how we can write this kind of things? So generally, currently I'm doing that everything right here only. But in general, let me take one more example. Let's say we need to handle error also, right? That's we supposed not to crash the program actually. Got it? So in this case, so when we are in the real time, what we do is we take the data from the user. So this should be inside try block. This will all should be inside the try block, right? And when we are doing this, right, here itself we are raising. In general, we should not raise error like this. Instead, you have to create a function actually, function to check the name, except your name, your error name, right? Custom exception name. Got it? As e or error, and say print um, error message. Say uh, error message e dot error e dot message. Guys, did you see this? See, when we are writing, when it comes to name too short error, here you're also saying two things, right? E means what? Instance of this exception class. You got it? So whatever the message it is writing up, right? We can use this instance or object of this error class. So by using this, if it is instance, right, you can access its attributes, correct? You know that, right? We can access attributes of the class once you create instance, right? So now error colon error message. We are printing error message and say and place you enter error dot. You can also since we are passing length to this, right? Since we are passing length to this custom exception error, we can directly print out like this. Okay, characters. Got it? We can write like this. Now, if I go and execute this, now this is how we written. Let's say this time again Raju. Do you see this? The execution is very simple, guys. It's very easy to understand actually. Okay, so don't worry about this. I think Nafis, if you don't understand this super and all right, you can ignore for now because like there is a session on super. It is where we explain many things on that actually. So once you cover that up, it will be straightforward. Okay, so it is basically to call the uh, parent methods actually, parent class methods. So here, where is parent? So exception is the parent class. So for this only, we had to initialize, the message. That's where I just call the parent constructor method. Okay, yeah. And when it comes to this, in the real time, we don't do like this. So this portion of the code should be written as a function because if I do like this, it is not maintainable code. This is not maintainable. So after taking this data, I had to create a one more function to validate, for a check name, for example, df check name, right? If length of the same logic, whatever logic we have written already. So since we know the logic, so if name less than 5, then you have to raise this error. Got it? And say here Instead of this block of code, you simply call this function check name, and you have to pass the whatever the data you are taking. See, input function is to take the input from the keyboard. You got it? You know, right? The function is which would allow you to enter data from it from the keyboard and store into the variable that you define here. Let's username equal to input enter your name, right? So this function collects the data from the keyboard and store that data into the username variable. And now, in order to check it, I have to pass a username here. So once I pass the username, so what it does actually? So it takes the username and store that data into the name variable, name reference. And if length of name less than equal 5, then it rises. You got it? Nothing else it does. Now, if I go and trigger this out, let's say Ravi, for example, this time. Did you see this? The name is too short. It must have 5 letters. Uh, you entered 4 characters. No, any question from anyone on this? Raising custom exceptions. Okay, so let me give one more example and then we can move to next topic. Okay, so in the same way, what I want to do is example 02 already exist. Okay, example 03 then. We have, oh, again, oh, my bad. Right. Now I want to create a age error. For example, see when you're signing up with some portals, for example, let's say go even for getting an email, right? For getting an email, what is the age actually? So maybe the age factor is there, right? Like you had to over 18 years, isn't it? In Gmail, for example, if you want to get a new Gmail account, the age factor is minimum 18 characters, isn't it? So not 18 characters, 18 years, 18 years, right? So you can create a age error, for example. Let's say uh, the error name can be like we should give some a good error name. So error is common, right? Let's say age error. This makes sense, right? Age error. Here I'm passing age. See, age is the, age is required. Got it? And here name is age is too low. Huh? Once again, my mind is not working today. Age is low. Low. Like otherwise you should say like uh, you should have uh, yeah you should your otherwise your age should be above 18 years. 18 years, above 18 years. Okay, this makes sense, no? Your age should be above, or your age must be above 18 years. So here, age, age. That's it. We're done. Yeah, correct. That makes more sense, Minimum, minimum age 18 years to obtain our services. This makes sense, no? All right, that's it. So we are done with this, guys. See, once you know one way of for doing it, right? If you created one exception class, custom exception class, Same pattern, same thing to be used, guys. Simple as that. You got it? And so here what we will take, you see, here this will change, let's say age. Let's say check age, right? Check age, for example. Check age 18 years. Check age here, this would we are passing, we will pass age, right? If age, and say if age is um, less than 18 years, for example, then we have to raise the error, age error, right? Here, age error, and here we are passing the not length actually. We are directly passing the what? Age name. You got it? No, you're getting what I'm saying. uh, user age, user age equal to enter your age, right? So when you're taking, you have to convert it to integer. This you already aware, right? Got it. And here check age. So we need to check age, and here pass the user age. Got it. And what is error name? Age error. So previous error it is there here. Replace with this, and say error message is this, and uh, error message. I think this is pretty much enough. Let's try to execute this and see. Got it? So this time again I'm triggering out, and when I execute this, it is asking, it is at line number this, uh, enter your age, right? You are seeing this text, right? Which means that your program execution started from here from the beginning and reached at this line. And this is the place where it is expecting for data. And say here, for example, the percentage is 13 years now. And did you see this? The percentage is 13 years. And since we are already, since we are raising many things, so age error, it raises error actually. So raise age error, right? Did you see this? If we don't have a, if we don't write anything exception class and all that, once again, let me do that for you. Control C. Now, when you're learning, right? So learn in a very hard way. So take the data, and check the age. Once we take the age information from the user, right? You have to call this function to check the user age. And when you do this, when you, for example, 12 years, for example, and did you see this? You were saying your custom exception class is used here or called here. So when the age is below 18 years. Guys, did you see this? Trace back in this file, check age. It is raised age error, and say age error minimum age is 18 years to obtain our services. Got it? So this is how we should create a custom exception class as well. Um, Guys, any questions on this? Like creating a custom exceptions? Now that you understood how to create a custom exceptions, can you try it for many things? Let's say, think about a bank, right? So when you're working on a bank, or sorry, not working on a bank, when you're using your bank services, right? So you might be thinking that like you had a money in your account, and like you're making to, let's say your account balance is 10,000, and you're trying to withdraw 15,000, right? So there also you can raise a balance error, right? Your balance is not matching. Yeah. So you can write your custom exceptions. Got it? Guys, this is very, very important. When you are giving interview, right, you can clearly explain them that, because so it is, I'm sure that people not aware how to write a custom exceptions, So we should proudly say this, not proudly, like we should nicely say this in the interview, say that, hey, I am in my program, we used to write all custom exceptions because our system is very complex, and so in the complex system, right? So age error, for example, consider this age error. So age error is not a generic error in Python. Okay. So it is not comes with Python, right? So that's where we created a custom exceptions. So I'm very good at writing custom exceptions for my business application, and I have written more than more than 200 plus custom exceptions, right? So the same way, right? So age error, balance error, like this, we can claim that more than 200 plus custom exceptions I have raised, and they'll be very curious. Can you write a sample exception, a sample custom exception class? So then it's our opportunity to grab next 10 minutes, right? So write a take any use case, take use case of name error, or take use case of age error, balance error, or any other errors, and you should explain them you should clearly give a demo on this in the interview. Got it? These all are very, very required, guys. So when you're working, it's really important that uh, like what you are raising. See, if you don't have this statement, then it will not display any message. You got it? So this is the key here. This is the right key here, guys. So this message only matters. So when you're raising this exception, which means that you are creating this. You got it? You are triggering this error, and this is required. This data is required when you want to display specific information about age or message in the exception handling, like this. Not all this, like line number, sorry, exception example 02. So here we have user, no, uh, we have user the custom exception attributes, right? Like instance attributes, message and the length, these two. You got it? Yeah. So because I don't want to repeat more on this, because we had a solid understanding of classes, like in even in Whoops we had a solid understanding of all the concepts, right? So if you just refer them, if you had any challenges understanding this, quickly refer them and understand on the construct and all that. Yeah, make sense? Right. Yeah, correct. In general, since we are writing custom exception, so the context is very clear that this is error. You got it? So that's why we need to make it static message. This is our own style of writing exception, right? So we clearly know what is the exception, right? So that's where it's supposed to be static. Yeah. If you want to make it dynamic, still be okay. What you can do is you can create a formatted string, and then you can while updating here, what you can do is you can update data here. Let's say name is too short. You can say like this. For example, what I'll be doing is I would do this here, and name is too short. Say uh, name is too short. For example, this is required. Length. Yeah, we what we can say length, right? Yes. Name is too short. Yeah, you can do this. Or you can pass the length. That's okay. Anyway, length is coming out, right? And length is at this point, length is not known, right? It is not happy with this. Hmm. One second. What we can do is no, we can what we can do is no, instead of having here, even instead of writing static, right? This data can be written here directly. Copy, even the message is not required. We are anyway constructing here as well, right? Directly. Say name is too short, for example. Name is too short. Here length. Length is known, correct? You got it? This way you can write. So length is too short. Let us instead of instead of it must be, name must be. Now does this make sense? You got it? So if I execute this, uh, let's say Raju, for example. Did you see this? Name is too short, 4 letters, and name must be above 4 letters. You entered 4 characters, and this is not required. You enter 4 characters, not required. Why? Because we are already clearing his concerns there itself, right? In the custom exception, yeah, in the custom exception itself, we were clearly telling what the error issue, right? So we should be good. Let's say so now this makes more sense now, right? See, gets clearer how we can write. See, once you know the concept, right? So you can play with it like anything, guys. Understood? So now the catch is what you have to do is you have to write a similar thing, and you can also, let's say, see, when it comes to person, right? So person name is there, person age is there, gender is there. For example, other than gender, if let's say there are two categories, male and female, for example. So if person is entering other than that, for example, we have to raise a, let's say, gender, for example. You got it? So consider person. Person has so many information. Write a custom exception for all the information of the person. Does it make sense? So that you will cover everything. Person itself a universe. Just kidding.